Good morning, everybody. It's been about a week since I posted, a little bit more than a week actually, since I posted. I had a wonderful visit with my sister. That was the last time that I had spoken with you all, and went back to real life after last Wednesday, and I've had some personal issues that had me a little bit down. And when I'm feeling down, I don't like to talk on my YouTube video because you have a tendency sometimes when you have personal issues crop up to talk about them or to let them create an issue for you. And I really didn't want to do that. It seems like every time you take a few steps forward, then things pop in to cause you to take a few steps backward. Nutritionally speaking, I think I've been doing a pretty good job. I'm not on any particular program right now, except for whole food plant-based, following mostly McDougall program for maximum weight loss. That's kind of like my lifestyle. A cut between that and Furman. And I'm doing fairly well in that respect. I have not been weighing myself because of a few of the faux pas that have slipped into my life. I'm really not in the mood for getting on the scale. But overall, I feel good. My clothes are fitting a little looser. And that's also always a really good indication that things are still going okay. I just, this time of year is tough for a lot of people. And every single year I say to myself, oh, it's not going to affect me. But I think it's affected me a little bit more so this year than it typically does. Because not only is this the holiday season, beginning with Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up in a while, New Year's, all those festive things. When you're alone, it's a little hard sometimes. And then the reality of the fact that I'm going to be retiring has pretty much hit me. And not only that, the reality of my my upcoming birthday has hit me a little bit hard too. This is a big birthday. This is 60. And it's one of those things where you're aware that you have so much less time on this earth than you've already had on this earth, and so that sort of thing comes into play, and it just makes you think a lot, and you try not to dwell on the woe is me part of these sort of things that creep into your brain. But it's all been coming together for me. Have not been cooking a whole lot. I batch cooked a whole bunch of beans the other day, green beans and potatoes. I've got in my refrigerator. I've been eating a lot of single food meals. Have chips made their way into my eating every now and then. Yeah, but not horrible, not whole bags. I don't know. Sometimes you sit down and you wonder, okay, what's next? Where am I going with what it is that I'm doing with my life and for the rest of my life? And then, of course, the weight loss is always on my mind. Always on my mind. But that's not any type of a problem right now. I feel like I'm doing okay. Actually better than okay. I feel confident that I will make it through the holidays without gaining any weight whatsoever, and possibly even losing. And like I said, my clothes are fitting looser. So I kind of feel like I'm in the low 40s. But I'm not going to hop on the scale right now. I think I'll just kind of leave that thing alone, put that thing up in the corner for a while, and if I do find myself engaging in habits or behavior that's a little bit bad, more bad than it typically is, with the snacking and the eating and the sweets and all that kind of stuff, I'll get on the scale to monitor. But right now I'm not doing that, so I'll just kind of let it be. I don't have a problem with sweets. Used to. Before I started eating plant-based, I used to have a really big problem with sweets. Don't have a problem with sweets anymore because many of the sweets that I used to enjoy are made with eggs and milk. And ever since I started eating plant-based, the eggs and milk thing, I mean, and anything having to do with animal products, I don't have any problem staying away from those things. So that's just not part of my life. And those kinds of pastries and things, I have purposely not sought out learning to make pastries and vegan treats and vegan desserts and things like that. You notice I don't do a lot of that because I used to have a problem with sweets. And I know that if I start looking at recipes and start creating things, because I am a really good cook, I'll end up making some stuff that I feel the need to make over and over again, and I don't need to incorporate that in my life right now. I think the biggest thing that has me feeling some kind of way, as they say, is the fact that it's the holidays. I'm alone. I have my son here, and issues that come along with having a mid-20s person who has not figured things out yet. And I wish I knew how to get out and socialize more. This is, the time of year where people do socialize. They're around friends, they're around family. My circle is so small. And I say to myself, well, when I retire, I'll have more time to get out into the city, do more things, but I know me. I might seem like I'm an extroverted person, especially since I'm living out loud the way that I do. I'm actually a bit of an introvert. When I go to social gatherings, I'm the sort of person that if I don't know anyone, I'm going to find a spot, and I'm going to stay in that spot. And especially if I'm not with someone, very, very uncomfortable going to places without knowing anyone. Now, on the flip side, if I am at a social gathering and I either organized it or I'm on the committee that organized it, which I do that a lot, or, it's a situation where there are coworkers whom I know very well, not just simple coworkers, because I resort to the introvert even with people I barely know or just know on the periphery. But I just, I can be quite the extrovert, if it's a situation where I'm supposed to be. And it's weird. I often describe myself as an extroverted introvert, where I can be the life of the whatever it is if I'm in charge of it or if I'm a part of it. But if I'm a guest and I don't know anyone, I'm really, really shy. And it's just all kinds of things that you tend to think about during this time of year. But the one thing that I try not to do is to go inside myself. And, and that's kind of what was happening over the course of the last week. It was so nice visiting with my sister. And when I came home, that also made me realize that I don't have very many people around me. And it just makes for a bit of loneliness sometimes. And, you know, sometimes that's not a good place. So I have to figure out what exactly it is that I'm going to do when I retire, so that I don't resort to living as a recluse. That's not good. But, you know, just being open and honest about things. One thing that I do enjoy the fact is that, you know, I am connected to people online. I'm connected to people in the groups that I belong to and the groups that I'm the admin in. But even my small weight loss group, you know, we're finished for the year now. So there's not a whole lot of activity going on. The Mary's Mini group that I really enjoy. I'm not doing a Mary's Mini right now. And so I'm not posting as often in there as I typically do, to have that interaction with people. And but I do know that I've got to find something to keep me occupied. And eventually I've got to step outside of my comfort zone and get away from this little city. Because I don't really live in Atlanta. I live south of Atlanta in a suburb area. And it's, I guess you can say that anytime there's anything I have to go to, I do have to travel anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. I'm a good little ways from, you know, where the quote-unquote action is, especially with traffic. Atlanta traffic, I don't like going places by myself, but I have to figure this thing out. Being self-aware is a really good first step. And there's a lot of people out there who are in the same situation who, you know, they're not really aware of the potential that these feelings could create in their lives. And I am very aware. It's not good. It's not good not to be around people. And most of my life I've been around young ones. You know, I say to myself, well, Sharma, are you sure you want to retire? Because that's been a pretty regular in your life. And my answer is yes. You know, the school systems are putting, you know, so much more on teachers. The bureaucracy of the school systems have me a bit dismayed at times. And when I begin to resent having to take my time at home to grade papers and to do certain things, when resentment creeps in, it's time to make a change. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, this morning had nothing to do with weight loss. It just was a morning musing, letting you know I'm still here. And I just, I like to be upbeat and positive and smiley faced and all that good stuff. And I've not been that way in the last week or so. So I just wanted to pop in and let you all know that I'm still around. Hopefully I can get in the kitchen and post some more demonstration videos for you to keep the channel going. And I'll probably limit my musings to like once a week, since I'm not actively engaged in any particular program. So once a week. And let y'all, you know, continue to follow me as I lose this weight, get healthier, and you know, hopefully continue to inspire others. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.